Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hey y'all, welcome to Straight Up with MS and all its crazy little circles on MS&Me Radio, brought to you by the MS Global Support Network. I'm your host, Patty Long, and you can find me at MS and It for Life. I'm on Twitter. I've got a YouTube page started, kind of, sort of, no videos, just some people that I'm following. And some songs and things that I put up there that my grandchildren like, and just a couple little odds and ends. So don't expect anything if you go there just yet, but coming soon. I will get to it. And you can find me again. My name is Patty Long, and you can find me at MSENIT, the number 4 LIFE. Excuse me. Goodness. Great way to start the show is by burping. Yeah. I don't think y'all could hear it because it was kind of a quiet one. It wasn't one of them monsters that my granddaughter does. And you think, how could such a big noise come out of such a little bitty person? But, it happens. So, anyways, I'm so excited over going on this trip and getting to do the Oceans of Hope Challenge. And so I wanted to share with you that I went on an adventure today going downtown because I needed to find out when I was previously divorced. I had been married. This is my second marriage. My first one, I don't like to say I gave up on anybody, but I couldn't allow what was happening to continue. So I had to make that step, and I had to do it quick. But at the same time, while I got away and out of the situation that I was in, I didn't, charge him with anything as far as divorces go. I just didn't. And so in the state of South Carolina, a no-fault divorce is granted to you in a year's time. But I didn't know when I started that. So I didn't know when it, and I don't remember. I don't even remember my own wedding date the second go around. How do you expect me to know about these things the first time? And no, I don't know my first one either. Celebrating these things are not as important to me as just celebrating the day, and having a good time for the day. So I went on this adventure downtown to find out when it was that I got divorced, because I need it in order to apply for a passport. I need to know that. They ask that. So I'm going down, and I know where I'm going. I've been down that way a million times, if not two. And I'm checking everything out, and I come along to the train tracks where there's never, ever a train. And there it was. A train. So I got in line with the rest of the cars, and I sat there, and I waited. And I waited. Then I decided to take some pictures because there was some cool graffiti on this train. And so I started taking some pictures. And then I waited. And I waited. And I waited some more. And I thought, oh my gosh, how slow can this train get? Well, it got slower. It stopped. Dead stopped. So everybody's trying to turn around. And I got in the mess of people trying to turn around, and where everybody else took the first right, and that whole road was backed way up, I went on down into like the second right, maybe the third right, and I got onto the main road easy peasy. And when I went over the bridge and could see the train down below, that bad boy hadn't moved. It was still sitting in the exact same spot. And I know this from the graffiti. I mean, it was the same graffiti. So I thought, wow, I'm glad I turned around. And then I get to the courthouse so I can find out. And I go inside, and the guy tells me, because I have my phone in my hand and I have a charging stick, and I had it on that charger, and he said, you can't bring that in here. And I'm like, I can't? It's just a charger. And he says, I know. He says, but you're not allowed. I said, do you by any chance know why? I'm just curious, because that's me. I'm curious about like everything. So, you know, it's he didn't know. It was just a rule. And I'm thinking they're saying that they're heavy enough that they can be used as a weapon. I don't know. Maybe. They're not very big. They're about the length of your hand, maybe, but they're not very big. Or my hand, and I got a little bitty hand. So, anyways, I had to go back to my car. So I back out the doors, I go. And of course, the buttons to open the doors for you don't work. They didn't work on the way in. They didn't work on the way out. And so, here I am pushing on this big, heavy door. And then you go in, and then I'm pushing on another big, heavy door. And he's going through my bag, because security stuff, and they go through your bag. And I shoot pool. And I keep my chalk stick. I said that backwards, didn't I? The chalk for my cue stick, I keep that in a plastic baggie. Just, your regular old little cheapo sandwich baggie, not even the Ziploc kind. And then I tie a knot in it, end of it, because otherwise everything in my bag is going to turn blue. And he got to that, and he pulled it out, and he looked at it, and he turned it around every which way, and he looked at it and looked at it. I said, it's chalk from my cue stick. I shoot pool. And his eyes got real big, and he looked at me kind of funny, and I said, yeah, that's what it is. And it's got writing on it, but the writing on the side is faded, and it's little, and it's covered in blue, which is why it's in a baggie. But I guess they automatically are trying to figure out what kind of drug is this woman carrying in this baggie that is all chalky blue. So there you go. But then I go in after that and throw it, and I set off the alarm, and I'm like, oh no, now what's going on, And so he starts scanning me, and I'm like, well, do you know what set it off? And he says, no. He says, but I didn't find anything. I said, was it my head? Because I have those screws in my forehead now. And I said, was it my head? And he says, I don't know. Maybe it was those boots. And I don't see how my boots would have set it off, but maybe. I mean, there's very little metal inside my boots. They're not even, they're really super light. The pair of them weighs less than 3 pounds, and they're rubber bottoms, no steel reinforced toes or anything like that. So I don't know, but maybe it was my shoes. So I get to the courthouse, and then finally get in and throw the check. And I asked him where the clerk of court's office was. And he said, up the stairs on the second floor and to your left. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I took a picture of the steps because they're amazing steps. I may see if I can go back and just not have all kinds of junk with me, and just to practice going up and down stairs, because I don't really have a place around here to practice going up and down stairs. And that's something I need a lot more practice with. What I do have here is hills. And the hills are awesome too because they will really help your thighs. Going up a hill, down a hill, it works both sides. Um, so, yeah, but I took a picture of it and found out that yesterday was my anniversary of getting a divorce. Yay! The first time. The only time, hopefully. Anyways, who knows what the future will hold? None of us do. And that's true whether we have MS or we don't. But it was my adventure for the day, that and then driving home and driving down this road that is nothing but a mess. Every time you go down it, they're always in the middle of construction. They can't make up their minds what they're doing, and oh my gosh, you see the road rage on that road all the time. And I just sit back there and, chill and wait on everybody and don't worry about it. But I don't worry about much of anything. That's why I have I donut care coffee cup. And that was given to me by my parents because I donut care about that kind of stuff. It's really petty. So that's just my take, way I am. I guess I should talk to you guys about something related to MS, huh? This is an MS show. Aside from the fact that I've been having these crazy days and trying to do this paperwork that used to be super simple and now is super complicated, I gotta say I've had a really good week. And I hope y'all have too. I really do. I hope y'all have had a great week and have smiled every single day, all day long. And that's a hard challenge, and that's my challenge for myself, is to smile all day long from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed. And I've gotten really close. Although frustration or confusion can kind of set in easy. So it's really hard thing to do, but that's my challenge to myself, along with my exercises. Who would I be if I wasn't going to talk anything about exercises? Now, last time I talked to y'all about MS was week before last, because last week I announced that I'm going on this amazing journey on the Lady of Avenel, leaving out of Oban, Scotland. I can't wait. I seriously cannot wait. I'm sure you're going to get sick of hearing about it, but I cannot wait. So I was talking about getting dizzy, and there's several ways, several things that can cause us to get dizzy. And I think I discussed a little bit of that and some neck exercises and eye movement exercises that have really helped me with the dizzies. Other things have been like with my vision itself, because there's a place in the back of your head that puts what you see in your right eye together with what you see in your left eye and makes it meet, just exactly perfect. And your brain knows how to do this. And your brain will automatically make little adjustments as it needs to line everything up perfect. So that you see a perfect picture all the way around. And this place in the back of your brain, when it messes up, it has a tendency to cause you to become super, super dizzy really, really fast. Now, this was a symptom I woke up with. It wasn't one that just came on suddenly in the middle of the day. It was one of those that's a symptom that causes you to be dizzy, but it is not like the other types of being dizzy. It's not like you stood up and whoa. It's no vertigo. It's definitely this thing in the back of your brain. So when that happens, that is a sign of a new symptom if you've never had it happen. But anyways, you wake up with this thing, And the way to tell that it's this and not just vertigo or something else is because, and I'm telling you, this was so simple. And I don't for the life of me understand why the doctors had no idea and said, there's nothing you can do about it. Get used to it. Really? So, you know, I'm looking out and my eyes are so scrambled that the pictures are just going every which way and not connecting, the picture in the right eye and the picture of the left eye, and they're not connecting, and my brain knows it's wrong, so I just keep scrambling and circling until I either fall over or I puke and fall over, which is even worse. So, and there's nothing you can do. And then I find this really super, super simple solution to it. I patched one eye. I found that when I covered up one eye, then my brain was not confused anymore. It was that simple. And yet my doctor had said, there's nothing you can do about it. Right. That's why I have a new doctor now and don't see that guy anymore, because there's always something you can do about it. There's lots of things that you can try to do about different issues that we encounter. And, having that spot in the back of my brain being affected and not working correctly was scrambling up what I saw to the point that I couldn't stand up. I couldn't look at anything. I couldn't stand to have my eyes open. But I did find out that all I had to do was close one eye, and it could be either eye. Now, I got really good at just holding my right eye closed and looking out my left eye, because my right eye was weaker anyways, and I had more trouble opening it anyways. So I got to where I could, walk around and have one eye closed and one eye open. You can use your hand to help hold your eye closed, but that's a pain in the butt. But if your eye is open and you're seeing, like a rag or white or, whatever color your bandana is or something like that, then it's not going to stop the dizzy, because then you're circling your left eye with this color of whatever. So you need to make sure that you have it on there to keep it closed when you do that. Now, if you wake up and you're super dizzy like that and the room is circling, and I mean circling all different which ways, 1,000,000 miles an hour, and even faster than that, and you're just like, oh my God, I'm gonna puke. If you wake up like that and you cover one eye and it doesn't help, then it's not the same thing. It's something different causing it. And if you wake up like that and you've never been like that, I do suggest you call a doctor. I also suggest you try closing your eyes and seeing if the dizzy is only there when your eyes are open. And I know I've had this sort of thing happen as well. And anytime I opened my eyes, I became extremely dizzy. Now, I could get up and get out of bed and go to the bathroom, go down the hall to the kitchen, as long as I kept my eyes closed. As soon as I opened my eyes, even just to peek, to see and make sure I was where I thought I was, as soon as I peeked, I was dizzy again. Now, I'm not sure what the cause of that is, because I was still going to the same doctor at the time for my MS, and I didn't even really bring it up, because he's just going to be saying, well, there's nothing you can do about it, you might as well get used to it. And he'll be that big giant guy in the white coat that Penelope always talks about. Hey Penelope, I love you. And she's at Positively Positive with MS, or oh my gosh, I probably got that butchered, but she's one of my friends, and you can find her on Twitter and probably everywhere else. If I can get it open, I'll tell you exactly where she's at. But no, I cannot get it open. Um, Here we go. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Well, sorry guys, but Penelope is her name, and I love her to death. She's really super, super funny. Um, and so is Bianna at Gina MS Warrior. They're both really funny, and I love these people on Twitter because, we're a fun group. We're not into all the drama, which is, sad to say, but a lot of it is out there on Facebook, and I personally just can't deal with all that drama and the stress that comes from all that drama. So I like Twitter. But if you have the second kind of dizzy that I was talking about, that you have to keep your eyes closed or you get super dizzy, and it has to be both of them, I do suggest you call your doctor, because it could be the sign of something new. Now, a lot of times our issues morph, and so even though it seems like a new symptom to us, it's the same exact thing that from before. It's just morphed and it's changed into something a little bit more drastically noticeable, or flip-flopped from one extreme to the other. And I didn't talk to my doc about this one, so I don't know. But keeping my eyes closed worked pretty well. And, I did amazingly well at walking through my house blindfolded. Now, I've been here nearly 19 years. It'll be 19 years come middle of March. And I know my house well. And so there's no steps either. So none of that kind of stuff to worry about. And I get around fine with my glasses off when my eyes are hurting, which they do from time to time, because they're just like any other muscle in my body. They get sore. But I can walk through my entire house and get around really well without being able to see a thing. And that was very useful during the time when I was experiencing this particular kind of dizzy. Now, there's also dizzy because we're off balance walking, and we need our gait to be right, and our gait's not right. We take one step, two step, and then the third step is way over to the side. And, we have our little drunk walk. And I have noticed today that I have had that leg that I'm trying to remember which leg it was. I think it was my right leg that went flying off to the side, so I wobbled. Okay? And we want to get rid of that. Now, that's actually something in your hips. And I want to encourage everybody to ask your doctor for PT, or to have somebody who knows what they're looking at to evaluate you and your gait and find out. Because if your gait is off, not only are you going to cause yourself more pain, but you can also damage things where it makes it harder to get your gait back right. It's easier to break our connections than it is to make them. So we want to make good, strong connections. And I think my walk was wobbling a little bit because I kind of did a lot, and I did a lot yesterday and the day before that. So I'm proud that I am getting there. I'm getting my steps in each day, and I'm trying to hang around in the same general zone, and not go too far over, because if I go way high over, then I'm going to have done too much, and I'm going to end up with a gait issue. And then on top of that, I did this incredible thing of stairs today, which I I really like the steps. They were nice steps. Can you tell I like the steps? I need to practice steps. So before we get much further along with fixing our gait, I want you to think about, how you walk. Do you feel like one leg is longer than the other, or like you're dragging one, or that you're getting your toes hung up? All of these things are issues with our gait. Maybe you can't get your foot picked up, and maybe you can't get it put down right so that your heel hits the ground. But think about it, and why is it, or not why is it, but which spot is it that is giving you the problem? Where is it starting from? Is it starting at your feet, or is it starting at your hips? I know for me, for today anyways, it was starting at my hips, not at my feet. And I know this because when it starts at your hips, you can feel that hip kind of buckle. And I'm very in tune to what I feel. And I can feel if I feel the buckle, then I know it's there. So that means I need to do my heel toes and my butt kicks and my side kicks. And then I need to walk the line, which is the good old-fashioned drunk test. Heel toe walk on a straight line. And I have to do this watching the line, but I can do it. And, I haven't done it yet today, but normally I can do it. So, my time is up, of course. My time is always up, y'all. But hopefully, I will remember that I was in the middle of talking about the dizzies, and that I have some more things that you can try at home to help with your balance walking. And I look forward to talking to y'all about them next week. Thank you so much for listening to me, and thank you for supporting me in my efforts to get the word spread and the awareness out there for what MS really is and how we can tackle it on an individual basis while we're waiting on a fantastic cure to come along. And thank you, Erica Lyons Richardson, for being you and creating this huge network for all of us to try and get together and help each other. I love you all. Thanks again for listening. Bye for now.